What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I wanted to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ very briefly. I'm also going to talk about some big things coming out for next week that could affect the markets. And I'm going to talk about how the trends are looking as we're seeing some new developments. But before I break into all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and the offer ends very soon. Anyways, looking at Tesla, we have a very nice looking trend right now. Tesla's making higher highs and higher lows. It's uptrending slowly but surely, and we're approaching this very nice resistance. So I believe there's a very simple trend on Tesla. What's happening almost every day is Tesla gets these little pullbacks before it gets bought back up, and this is just algorithms between these institutions trading Tesla. What do? You can see right here, Tesla dumped a couple of points. It actually dumped about 6 points in a single day before we got to see this thing getting rebounded, forming a V-shaped recovery. This happened on Tuesday. Something similar happened on Monday as well. If you go to Wednesday, Tesla dumped back down to 182, then pushed back up to about 189. If you look at Thursday, we had a sideways day. Tesla started off a little pump to 191, came back down to 188, and we closed very flat. Then for Friday, what did Tesla do? We opened up here at 193, then we dumped down to 190 and bounced back to 193. So what is the trend telling us? Tesla keeps on seeing little drops and pops, getting bought back up, and we may continue to do this as we approach our key resistance. So the algorithm, in my opinion, is going for this 195 area. It could even break above this depending on different factors. I think Tesla, maybe as soon as Monday, might pull back a little bit and start pushing back up and get very close to our target. Institutions and robots are trading this thing and they're trying to push it higher as we're seeing buyers stepping in alongside lots of big order flows. So, that being said, what do I see for Tesla? I want to call out something very important. Now, Tesla is on an uptrend, but we do have a big catalyst coming out that could affect that. So, Monday is going to be a very quiet day. We just have two Fed speakers essentially. But for Tuesday is going to be very important because we have CPI coming out. We have core CPI and then CPI for all items. That's going to be very important. We're expecting a little drop in CPI year over year. And then also for core CPI, we're expecting another slight drop as well. So that's what we're expecting for Tuesday. That's going to be a big catalyst for the markets. CPI for all items has been on a downtrend, but for CPI for all items. I'm sorry, guys, that was wrong. CPI for all items has gone up just a little bit, but CPI for all items without food and energy, that's core CPI, has been on the downtrend. So we'll see what happens basically. We've been stuck for now in a very similar level for core CPI. It's very sticky, and we'll see if there are any increases or not. That's going to be a big catalyst. The market is at extreme greed, which means things are a little risky, but there's no confirmation the market is rejecting and crashing. So you shouldn't be calling the crash. You shouldn't be saying it's going to crash. Where is your evidence that the market's crashing when the market is continuing to break out? Could the market tank in the future? It sure can. But we need a catalyst and we need confirmation on the charts and we need something to affect it. We don't know what CPI is going to be yet. CPI, for all I know, could still pump the market higher. So the charts are still bullish. There's no reason to turn into a big bear yet, and we have to wait and see how things go. I want to make that as clear as possible. For earnings that are coming out, we have Monday.com on Monday. How ironic is that? We have just a couple more for Monday. Then for Tuesday, we have Shopify and Coca-Cola, not to mention Airbnb, Upstarts, Robinhood, and Lyft. Then for Wednesday, we have CME Group coming out. That's going to be one I'm going to be watching that one. And we have Sony and just a few others, and then very minor earnings after that. And Coinbase and Roku are big ones for Thursday, especially Coinbase. And this thing is running, approaching its earnings as we predicted so far. For Tesla, we have a big catalyst. So the Giga Berlin is prepared to essentially resume their production, especially for the Model Y, starting on the 12th of February, which is going to be on Monday, which is a very good piece of news. Why is this good news? Because they halted production for this is like almost 2 weeks, a little bit less than that. I think it's about 2 weeks essentially, because of what was going on with the Red Sea and because of the supply chain disruptions. So as a result of this, Tesla's going to be resuming their production, which is a good catalyst that's helping Tesla go up. And also, it's because of the fact that I'm not really seeing as much negative news about Tesla. There was a lot of negative news in January, a lot of negative news for the first week of February as Tesla began to just tank and tank and tank. But since then, for the last like 3 days, there's been less negative news and things have been improving a bit. And now Tesla has more leeway. Daiwa Capital is the last analyst that gave Tesla a rating. It's pretty neutral. Tesla's trying to balance on its price price ratio, showing some strength. And Mondays tend to be green about 53% of the time. I'll be going over more of this on Sunday to break down my predictions for Tesla. Volume was only about 84 million, so the market's pumping on low volume. We'll see how long this could really hold. But for now, I just want to say that I'm not really worried about that. The charts are still bullish. Tesla is still holding up. So let's see if we kind of grab liquidity down here and start pushing back up towards these tops up here. The chart is still bullish. What about for SPY? Everyone is saying a lot of people are saying SPY is going to crash and this and that. But as the market keeps going, people are turning greedy. So, excuse me, will SPY crash? Here's my answer. No, I don't see a massive crash right now. I don't think we're going to get a massive crash unless something happens. I do think we could get a very healthy pullback, however, but there's no confirmation yet. The chart is still bullish. So because the chart's bullish, if SPY breaks 501, watch 503, then 505, and look at support at 500. Overall, the trend is still in favor of the bulls. SPY could push a little bit more on Monday, but then we'll have to see what happens after CPI. For the QQQ, we look bullish. We're still hovering above this yellow trend line. We actually broke above this. And on top of this, you will notice that the QQQ is approaching 438. If we break that, 440 is our next target. Watch support at 436. The trend is still bullish. We're still holding up nicely. Nvidia is a very, very good one. We called out this cup and handle. Do you guys remember? I said this many, 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 many times. We got the cup, got the handle. We broke above the all-time high, and we got this nice breakouts towards 721. Now, I predicted Nvidia would get up to at least 715, and then if that broke 720 is coming, it went a little bit higher than that to 721, so it's still bullish. Tell me, where is this chart showing that it's going to just come crashing down besides the fact that it's up pretty big already? The answer is nowhere. There's nothing showing that this thing is going to crash. It could pull back a bit and then just try to continue pushing. We're still bullish thus far. For Apple, Apple is kind of an exception because Apple has a head and shoulders like structure, but we have to wait for confirmation. We have to be very patient and see because the thing about Apple is this thing was looking a little bit weaker to me in the morning, but then we got a big piece of news about the potential dividend and a buyback that's coming. So, because of some good news, Apple got this little pop and drop. So, now we just have to wait and see. So, just to clarify, here's what you're going to be watching for. It's very simple. What has Apple been doing for the last 4 days? It's been stuck between it's been a little bit below 188, but for the most part, it held above that on a Monday. But basically, we've been between 188 and 190 for almost the entire week, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. If we're bullish, you want to see this thing break above 190 and start pushing to higher levels. If we do end up doing so, this could invalidate the head and shoulders that's forming. If we're bearish, you want to see it lose 188. If it gets a break below, this is a clean break, we're going to be coming back down to 186.5 and eventually 185. So looking at the head and shoulders, this is still not looking the best for the Bulls. It actually favors Bears a little bit more, technically, especially since we got this rejection. But there's no confirmation that this thing is going to break down yet. We have to wait for that just to see. If we get that break, I will turn a bit more bearish, and I'd be willing to play this. If not, we're just going to be stuck in this range. So I want to make that as clear as possible. We just have to wait and see. Apple is just range bound for now. We have a structure that could turn bearish, but there's no signal it's breaking down yet. And sometimes there are traps in the markets, so always be open minded. All right. So, honestly, guys, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. I want to make a video about this for tomorrow about my biases and the future of the markets, and also something about this channel. I'm going to make an announcement tomorrow. I just want to talk about something, and I will be talking more about Tesla and Elon Musk in the future as well. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a great weekend. We have Super Bowl Sunday coming up in just a couple of days. I'm very excited for it. It's going to be very fun. So please have a great time. Enjoy life with others. Do what you have to do. Enjoy the weekend. Have a good Friday night, guys. And I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Thank you so much for listening, and peace out.